Well, yeah, again, welcome to our first really weekly webinar series, really where we'll field Q&As, talk about topics shared by our customers, and really, help you figure out ways to help your business by using Allset, and again, just help you achieve your business goals. This week, we'll be talking about how to maximize success with Allset. Again, I'm your host, Ryan Bagubi. I lead the customer success and support team over here at Allset. I'm actually joined today by our guest, Raquel Hughes, who is the owner of Sparkle and Sheen. But really, this webinar is for those looking to get the most out of Allset and really hear and learn from other shared experiences. And by the end of the webinar, really my goal is to provide basic resources to make sure you're getting the most out of Allset and ensure you're leaving this webinar more confident as a customer, but then, as a business owner as well. We'll be talking about tracking your automated messages, editing and testing your messaging to fit your brand, making changes to your team photo and why it's effective, and hear from Raquel on success and her experience as she's been using Allset and anything that she can share in terms of a successful launch, as well as generating tips and reviews. But first of all, thank you, Raquel, for being here. Awesome. And so as she's coming on to join the stage, want to jump right into it and first really talk about making sure really what that success looks like as you're using Allset and really what that looks like. Hey, Raquel, how are you doing?
Hi, I'm okay, thanks. Just was out running around picking stuff up, so.
Awesome. Well, yeah, thank you so much again for being here and taking the time to, again, just share about your experience and anything that you have like as a user, with Allset to share with anyone else on this call. So yeah,
well,
appreciate you.
Did you want me to start now or you?
Yeah, and actually, we'll go ahead and jump right into that in a bit. But yeah, a few things that I want to start off with really is just talking about making sure that everyone has successfully logged into the Allset dashboard. I know that we have some customers who've been with us for a while who haven't really had the chance to, and then newer customers also on this call who haven't, or maybe they have logged into it maybe once or twice, but really just kind of talk about the importance of the dashboard and how we could help really with maximizing your success with Allset and what that can do for you. I get it a lot of the time, as an automated messaging company, sometimes it's easy to forget, right, about logging into your dashboard. But kind of just wanted to share, a few important points of why it's really just taking a look into it daily is important. The first thing I want to bring up is tracking the status of your texts. Again, I don't know if as a current customer or a new customer, if you knew, but you have the ability to know what texts are being sent out to, who's opened the text messages, and really for tipping, who has paid. An example, we have, customers always, asking us and being transparent. Customers are saying, not sure if my customer, received a text message. Did they receive a text message? So going into their dashboard and being able to see exactly who was sent that message, when they were sent it, you're able to do all of that inside of your dashboard. The second big important piece of, why we encourage, everyone to kind of just view your dashboard as something to check in with, I would say daily, is you're able to also change, the messaging and the branding. Again, I know a lot of the time as an automated messaging company, we kind of forget about the wording. We forget about the messaging and kind of leave it to the default. But really, it's all about changing the messaging, testing it to see, the engagement rates, if they were opened, if they, paid, if it was a text message. And so changing that to fit your branding, I would say is something that I encourage, a lot of business owners to do. And so kind of stopping there, Raquel, would love to learn about, your experience so far with whether it's changing the messaging or effective ways that you've used to be successful with Allset.
Well, we first heard about Allset because we're members of CBF, and you guys did a presentation, and I was at the stage where I didn't really know how to go about asking our clients if they wanted to tip. It's kind of an awkward place to be in. So what we did that was super helpful is we sent out a mass text. So we have a database of 2,000 clients. So we sent out through MailChimp a mass email explaining that we had joined hands with Allset and that the clients would now be receiving the automated message from Allset requesting a tip and to ask if the client wanted to leave a review. And we actually had one client out of all of our clients, and literally I was so stressed out.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that there was no way that people were going to receive that well, especially some of our legacy clients that we've been cleaning for 6 years. I thought there wasn't a chance. But it was very well received. So basically what Allset really helped us with, after we sent out the email, people started getting the text message from Allset. The one thing that was really important was to have that stop feature. I'm not sure if everybody has it or if it was just us who added it, because the client that actually had an issue with leaving a tip, he said that he didn't want to receive the Allset messages. So 1 out of 2,000 clients is pretty good. And he wanted to be able to type stop so that he wouldn't get the automated message. And I reached out and you guys were able to add that to our automated message going out. So it fixed the issue. He was able to type stop. He doesn't get the messages anymore. And what Allset also did was it encouraged our clients that maybe didn't want to tip through Allset to actually leave a cash tip for the technicians. So when we started with Allset, we ended up the first month, I think we got $300, maybe $380. And now we're up to 2,000 just from Allset in such a short period of time, literally a few months. So the difference that it's made for our team is they're getting not just the cash tips throughout the month, but I pay out their Allset tips once a month once I get the second quarter or half a month report. And I deposit it right into their account and whatever they need to use it for, groceries, gas, whatever, because it's pretty much all of the girls are getting anywhere to $300 to $500 at this stage for the month. And that's not including the tips from that are cash tips. That's just Allset. So it was pretty amazing how quickly it all came together. At first, I thought, oh, I don't know if it's really worth it. But then once we seen each month, it was going up and up and up. And then when I did the tip report last month, I was literally blown away because we started in February. So it's only June and I only just did the tip out for May. So February, March, April, and May. And we went from 300 to over 2,000.
Wow, that's incredible. And I think it's a few questions that I do have. And what you had mentioned in the beginning, as far as the successful launch and really, helping with adoption with your customers and clients. I guess if you can share what that messaging looked like, what was that wording that you used specifically? I guess for everyone on the call, to be able to, again, for like the newer customers who are, new and they want to introduce it, they do have that fear, of, I don't want to scare my legacy customers away, or I mean, again, you kind of had that, and yeah, if you can talk about that and share a little bit about, the messaging and that experience.
Absolutely. I was literally terrified starting this. I went back and forth because we watched the seminar in January and I still wasn't fully sure I wanted to commit because I was really afraid. But then I went to Booster Juice, and you guys can all thank Booster Juice for this. I went to get a smoothie, and when I went to tap my card, but it wouldn't let me. And then I started trying to read what it said, and they were asking for a tip. And I was like, at Booster Juice? Like, are you kidding me right now? Like, I wash people's underwear, and we don't get tips. Like, this is a huge difference. So then I felt, no, I'm gonna do it. Like, I have to bite the bullet and send out the letter. Our letter basically said that we had joined hands with Allset and just notifying them that they would be receiving the automated message after they're clean once the cleaning tech closed their job in the Jobber app, which whoever doesn't know what Jobber is, it's just our scheduling app that we use. So as soon as the client or the cleaning technician closed the job, then the Allset is amalgamated with Jobber, and then it sends out the Jobber request for the tip. What I outlined in the letter was, although tips aren't necessary, they are truly appreciated because the team works tirelessly to make sure all your homes sparkle at the end of each clean. And it was well received, to my surprise, because it was a very awkward place to be as the business owner. But I felt like my team deserved that extra money. And I'm not even joking. We only got gifts at Christmas. Nobody tipped us, like literally not a dime. So in February, our first month was $300. And now the girls are making that each one. And I have 27 cleaning technicians on my team.
Wow. Yeah, that's incredible. And yeah, I think to your point too, what you were mentioning was, you know, you were at a juice bar, and they were asking for a tip, and obviously, cleaning, it's hard work, and so really the way the messaging has been done, and you kind of mentioned it earlier, was you said that tipping isn't required but appreciated. I think a lot of the time too, as we talk to customers, and really we think about it as like asking for a tip, asking, and I put it in quotes, is because it's more so of showing appreciation, like more than anything. And yeah, the way that just conveying that out to your customers, and yeah, I think you nailed it right on the head there, just in terms of how we're communicating it. And when Alyssa and I are talking to new customers too, it's we want it to be as welcoming and as personal as possible. So when I had mentioned earlier about editing the messaging, always changing the messaging, not only to fit your brand, but really to fit like what is effective. Like, your customers better than we do, than anybody else. So, as far as like the wording to use and everything, it's something that you can always change around and then test to see what's effective and what's not.
Absolutely. Basically, the team, I felt, go above and beyond, and I wanted them to feel that sense of appreciation. and that reward from getting a tip. And so even the team has said to me, when we first started, we never got tips. Like, this is so cool. And I just feel like if you word it in a way that someone doesn't feel obligated. Like, I didn't feel obligated at Booster Juice. It just said, do you want to leave a tip? I clicked no. So with our automated message, I wanted that same choice, because tipping is a choice. And if they don't want to leave a tip, no one should feel obligated. So we put the stop feature on our message. And I don't know how many people have typed stop. I don't know if that's information I could see on my dashboard, but I don't reckon that it's very many. And for how apprehensive I was at the beginning, now I'm so incredibly grateful. And every month, like the person who gets the most tips, they get $100 gift card on top of that from us. Because if they're getting that many tips, that's showing me that they're doing a great job, because people only are going to tip. And if someone's done a good job, they're tipping anywhere from $25 to $60 per clean. It's literally mind blowing. I never thought that that would be even possible. The other thing is also right from the first point of contact. So as soon as a client calls into our office, we are actually asking, are you paying by credit card, check? And if they pay by credit card, we always ask them, would you like to leave an automatic tip for the cleaning technician to be auto billed on your credit card? And most of the time they say, sure, like, can you throw $20 on there? So it's super easy. But if you don't ask, you don't get.
Right. Yeah. And that is a great point, right? It's just more opportunities, for your team to earn tip. I think, as far as also talking about, and you kind of touched on this about losing clients. And I know that there's just some concerns, like just throughout, all the overall Allset customers who've, started. There's been some concerns of, it's losing customers is like huge. We don't want to lose any of our current ones. As far as like that goes, I know that we have, stop, you could text stop to opt out, but really just being super transparent. Have you had anyone who's been offended? I think that's where a lot of the concern is coming from. I don't want to offend anyone, more so of like losing. Have you had that experience before?
You know what? That was a huge part of my apprehension for signing up in the first place. But in all honesty, we have 2,000 clients. And I had one out of 2,000 people say that he found it offensive. And then he recommended that there be an opt-out feature. And I was like, absolutely. I said, at no point did I mean to offend anyone. Tipping is up to each individual person. If you feel like you want to leave a tip, now this client has been with me a long time. He is very generous at Christmas. Usually the cleaning tech that cleans his house, he gives her a $500 grocery gift card every year. So, I mean, he is very generous. So I understood that he didn't want to tip each time, and that's okay. And as far as losing clients, to me, I think that if someone leaves for something like this, they would have left eventually anyways. To me, that's why I go above and beyond to make sure that you have that relationship with a client. Because if you have a relationship with a client, they feel guilty to leave. If you send a different person to the client's house every clean, there is no relationship with that person. But I'm smarter than the average bear. I send the same cleaning tech to each house. So, like, that client that has had Sarah cleaning for the last 6 years, and Sarah washes her laundry, and she isn't willing to leave because a new cleaning company opened and is charging $10 less an hour. They just don't, because they love Sarah. That client has that relationship. They're less likely to, they're more likely to tip. If that's the relationship you have with your clients, you have nothing to worry about. Even like for me, I was terrified, but in hindsight, it was nothing. I just did it and it worked out. So for anybody who is having apprehension, I say just do it. Your team will be so thankful, and also they'll be less likely to leave your company because training costs money. You are trying to retain your staff. If you're getting an extra $500 a month just for doing your job, they're not going anywhere.
Yeah,
It's
and thank you so much, Raquel. Yeah, and I think that to your point too of if they're not willing, or if they do get offended, that you'll ask for a tip. One of the things I did hear from a few owners, and they've kind of shared this, is if you ever raise your prices in the future, they're going to be the first ones to leave. And so, yeah, I think to that point too, it's if they're offended by it or anything, then they're not going to most likely be around, for a while.
100%. Those are not the clients that you want to have anyways, because they're always shopping for the best deal. Just because someone is cheaper, know your worth. I know what I'm worth. If I'm out there, I'm giving it 110%, and I know my team does too. So if I'm charging $50 an hour and Joe Blow starts up and they're charging 30, and my client wants to jump ship, they would have eventually anyways. That's just the way I see it. There was no loyalty there. They're not appreciative of the job that we do. So see ya. There's 10 more people that are asking for a quote today
Yeah.
just this morning. Like, I'll fill that spot should there be one open.
Right. Yeah, I absolutely. You make some great points there. I think the next question that really have, and as far as just everyone in the audience too, obviously not just being a text tipping platform, but reviews as well. I just want to ask this question is, really, I guess starting, where do you get a majority of your leads from, and how do your customers find you?
Well, actually through CBF, where you guys did the presentation, there was another platform that did a presentation last year, just before you guys did, and they were called Sotellus. I'm not sure if anyone knows that company, but
Right, yeah.
so we joined Sotellus, and we got a lot of the reviews on Google and stuff from using that platform. This was before I knew you guys were doing the reviews, and we have
Yeah.
generated reviews from yours. And so we are looking into leaving Sotellus, but we're just concerned with what that is going to leave our platform to look like. Because you guys offer two things. They only offer helping the reviews, and really it's more of a screening process. So if someone leaves you a crappy review, the client gets to vent, but it doesn't get posted on so you have a higher rating. It's kind of cheating, but not really, because some people just suck when they leave a bad review. But at the end of the day, we would like to just work with Allset, because you're doing everything and at a lesser price than what we're paying for that one platform. So, but that's how we actually, we did review cards. So, initially, before we joined with Sotellus, we uh, had the cleaning technicians leaving a review card at each clean that they did. When you flipped over the card, it said that Sparkle and Sheen would tip the cleaning technician $10 in their name on their behalf for leaving a review on one of our social media platforms. So that did help us get quite a few. However, nothing to what we have now. And even since we've been with Allset and you guys have sent out the automated text, we get notified every time someone leaves a review, and every day we get more reviews. And so it all works, it all helps.
Yeah, that's awesome. And I think, to your point too, it's, as we continue to grow, build, mature, but then also just listen to our customers of, not just being a tipping platform, but then, reviews, now getting into text to pay coming here shortly, which is super exciting. It's, for us, we want to be able to handle the messaging, the transactions between you and your customer and make it really a human touch and a human experience. And really just improve the customer relationship between you and your customer. But I know we're coming up to the half hour here. So I just want to ask you one just final question.
Sure.
And really for everyone in the audience as well. But yeah, what's one feature you would want to see from Allset in the future?
I'm trying to think of something else that we pay for that we source out. Honestly, I am so happy with Allset. I can't recommend what you guys do to any business more than I already do. Like, honestly, if anyone is even second guessing working with Allset, I say bite the bullet and go for it, because you will not have any regrets once you do it. I know it's scary at the start. I was in that same spot, but I am so incredibly grateful. I just think that the reviews is such a nice touch. And then your next launching of your next idea of the paying
Text to pay.
yeah, I can't think of honestly anything else that would make your platform any more superior than it is. I mean, we're looking to leave one, but we just don't know what it's going to look like. And as soon as we can figure that out, we literally are leaving and putting all of our eggs with Allset. And I would highly recommend to anybody to do that.
Awesome. Well, yeah, if anyone else has, again, for us, it's just listening to your customers, listening to you guys. And really, again, as a customer success team, we're here to not only just ensure success with you guys with Allset, but then more so as, your business goals and what those look like. But Raquel, thank you so much for taking the time to join us. Looks like you got your little dog there too.
Yeah, he's my baby. I don't know if you can see him. There he is.
Yep. That's great. Well, yeah, as we close out here, I want to thank everyone for taking the time to join. This is our first weekly webinar series. As we continue to have them week over week, really the goal again is to just make sure that all of your questions as customers are being heard, keeping it almost as an open forum where, any concerns, anything that you guys have about features that you'd want to see, that you'd love to see, for us, we're here just all ears, listening and learning from the experts out in the field. So again, thank you so much everyone for joining. And we're super excited to see you guys next week as well.
See you later. Thanks for having us.
All right.